Welcome to Creepin' It Real. I am Judah. Back here is Jake.
Stop.
We watched the extreme splatter horror film called Mutant Girls Squad.
Extreme splatter, that's new. That's
yes,
good.
that's an actual genre.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, there's like my first introduction to this was a movie called
Deadpool.
Tokyo Gore Police. That one was a little too extreme for me. There was a lot of weird, like sexual deviant type of stuff.
More Clockwork Orange.
I don't know. I've never finished watching that, so I don't know.
There's quite a bit of.
But it's like there's this weird scene where there's a woman that was turned into a chair.
Oh.
And you know these movies, they love to be like, hey, this isn't my penis, but
it's my penis.
It's my penis. Yeah.
Kind of like where the dad was like, don't worry, it's not my pecker.
Exactly.
But it's my pecker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's this weird scene where this chair, it's a flesh chair, just like a regular wooden chair that you would see at like a dinner table. Okay. And there's one of those flowers that has I don't know what kind of flower, peace lily, a pea lily, I don't know. Anyway, it looks like a vajayjay.
Gotcha.
And it's on this chair, and there's stuff squirting out of it, and it's like, oh, it's not a vagina. And I was just like, oh, this is
dirt.
not for me. This
kind of like fifth grade humor.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't into it.
Boobs.
And I tried another one called, I think, Machine Girl. Again, I was like, nah, it's not for me. But this one was okay, which, let's just get into this trailer.
Let's do it.
And let's kind of talk about this. I'll pause it and we can talk.
今世界で注目される3人の監督が集結
Yeah, there's no subtitles on this. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Unless you know Japanese, right?
Are you familiar with the comic book Witchblade?
I've heard of it.
I felt like this was maybe somewhat of a spoof of Witchblade because it's like she has this body armor, but it usually forms on her hand, and I don't know. I was like, is that what they're going for, Witchblade here? Side note, apparently there is a prequel to this movie.
Shut up.
Called Yoshi Zero.
Oh, which is based off of her?
Yeah.
The cosplayer?
Yep.
Maybe
I tried to find it.
Oh.
I couldn't find it. Okay. Every time I looked it up, the only thing that would come up was Mutant Girls Squad.
Oh, I was going to say something with Mario, but no.
No. Oh, okay. I missed. Well,
hey, Jared Leto.
In one of the story descriptions, it legitimately says girls trained by a transgender samurai. So
there you go.
There you go. Oh, let's talk about this.
Oh gosh, okay.
So the story is that this girl, she's supposedly 16. She's starting to have strange, like her hand is starting to hurt her. Things are getting a little weird. She's telling her parents that some weird stuff's going on in her life, and they look at each other because they know what's going down.
They know what's up.
And anyway, so the girl comes home, there's a birthday cake, and they're like, surprise, and oh, by the way, you're a mutant. And her dad unzips his shirt and shows him his two grotesque nipples right here that had eyes and mouths. Am I correct, or did they?
I don't know if they had eyes and mouths, but either way, it was also he had a trifecta going on.
Yeah, the camera pans down and his zipper's open, and there's one poking out there, and he's all like,
Don't worry.
It's
not my dick.
It's not. It's not the wiener.
It's delicious noodles.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was this is your first introduction into some fantastic weirdness into this movie.
Hiya!
なんかいられない。
戦闘少女血の鉄仮面伝説
So what was your thoughts after watching this?
Oh, it's so wild, dude. Okay, you remember Fried Berry?
Yes.
Okay. This, to me, was like Fried Berry was to you. A pleasant surprise.
Okay. Gotcha.
It was a pleasant surprise. It wasn't. It was. Yeah. It was so out there, dude. What is there to say? I mean, it's a fun movie to watch. It's a blast. Yeah, I almost fell asleep, but that's just because I have 6 kids.
Yeah.
I sleep all the time.
Yeah.
Anywhere I can. But I loved it, man. I thought it was great. It was. Some things were a little out there for me, but I think that's Japanese horror, period. They tend to be way out there.
Yeah.
They tend to be more sexually deviant.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more open about it, I think. But I don't think they're more sexually deviant. But
Oh,
they're
no. They don't
They're
hide
just
it.
more. They just don't hide it.
Exactly,
Yeah, they've got
yeah.
vending machines with used underwear and shit like that. And it's just like, oh, I am Tokyo businessman. I get panties to sniff. So, anyways, no, it was fun, man.
When
It
I
was
first-
just wild.
Heard about that panty dispensary, I was like, what the frick? I enjoyed it. But I can understand, based on how much I hate Terrifier, how some people could watch this and be like, you are okay with this and you don't like Terrifier?
See, I think you think because Terrifier is too realistic,
That's my opinion.
where this is so absurd.
Yes.
That it's goofy. It's like, oh, this could never happen.
Exactly.
That could technically somebody could do that.
And that's where my feeling is at. But I have talked now to 2 indie directors about their horror movies. And when they say to me, well, it's kind of like Terrifier. And then I go, sorry, I just got to be upfront. I hate Terrifier. And they go, okay, we do too, but we say that because other people say it. And then they go on to say, yeah, Terrifier is just too goofy and too fake. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe the effects they're talking about.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Yeah, I could see somebody dressing up like a clown and, going off on an artistic.
artistic. Dun, dun, tsh. This was actually directed by 3 directors. They're all well-known extreme splatter directors in Japan, either part 1 or chapter
Gotcha.
1 or whatever. So the guy that we are most familiar with is Naburu Iguchi. He did the Dead Sushi.
Totally did not chop that up.
Yeah, I'm not Japanese in any kind of way.
What?
I know. So he did Dead Sushi, which we both enjoyed. And I think I enjoyed Dead Sushi more than Mutant Girl Squad. I just...
I don't remember it as well. Like, it's not as fresh in my mind, so it's hard for me to, like, go, oh, yeah, I definitely like that more. I think this was just so out there absurd. To me, like, the sexual stuff is just like, oh, God. Like, it's roll your eyes.
Yeah.
Like, bad. Like, where, like, the transgender samurai had tits on his head with the acid coming out and stuff. And it was just like, the stuff that I liked was, like, when the guy was getting, or his buddy was getting killed, like, it kept panning to his face and he had different, like,
the
facial
expression. Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's stuff that cracks me up.
Yeah.
Or like he was still, or that girl had a knife in her head.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, I'm fine.
Don't worry about it.
I
Don't
love
worry
that
about it.
stuff.
Yeah,
that cracks me up.
I did not expect that. That did kind of make me chuckle.
Or like how the one guy's wife was like, if I come back, I'd like to come back as French bread.
Yes.
And she gets chopped up like French bread.
That's
hilarious
goofy.
to me.
Yeah, it was.
So
the other 2 directors, one was Yoshihiro Nishimuro, and he directed Tokyo Gore Police, which I already talked about. And the last guy was Taka Sakaguchi, and he directed Samurai Zombie. I have not seen that.
that might be one for our list.
Exactly. I might have to check that out.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, like I said, they're known for their splatter,
Gore
extreme
porn?
splatter. Yeah. And I guess they met up at this New York Asian Film Festival, and they were just like, "Hey guys, let's get together and then let's make this film." So they did. They knocked it out quite quickly. Now, for me, it's only an hour and a half long. If it was any longer, insanity. But I feel like, man, maybe if they could have cut out 15 or even 20 minutes.
Dude, I think the ending was just so drawn out.
It just kept going.
And going. The fight scene. And like the close-up of the trans samurai, it was just like constant. Like that's where I really started to struggle staying awake. And it was like the same scene over and over and over again. And it was just like, oh.
It did feel that way.
Yeah, that ending was drawn out.
I really wanted to find, there was this mutant girl, which I swear when the scene came, I thought I was just looking at a boy. She was topless, and
oh, it's a little boy.
I was just watching it, and I look over and I see Jake. He has this expression on his face like, ugh. And I was like, I was so confused. I was like, what? It's just a topless little kid. What's the big deal? and then I was like, oh no, that's a woman. I was like, oh, okay. And we were joking about her hair. Her hair is all funky. And I thought she definitely looked like Ace Ventura from Call of the Wild when he's out in Africa or whatever. Mm-hmm. But at the end, I think I know for a fact. I can't show any photos because I couldn't find any of her without her shirt. You know what I mean? There was nothing that I could show on here.
Okay, but at the end.
Yeah. But when she cuts her feet and her hands off and she's blasting like a rocket, I know now for a fact that they were spoofing off Astro Boy.
You think?
I think.
Okay.
I just the hair, and that's how he flies. It's like his hands and his feet disappear, and they just shoot rockets out. And I'm like, they're definitely playing some weird Astro Boy stuff here, in my personal opinion. But those of you out there who take the time to watch this movie, you're going to have to give me your comments below and let me know if you think that they were playing.
Astro Boy, his hands and feet didn't disappear.
Didn't they?
No, he just had jets come out of like his palms, and then he had big old boots, like big red boots. Check him out, Astro Boy. And then you can like look up Astro Boy boots, because at one point there's his little boots. They were actually selling Astro Boy boots.
Okay, you're right, but it doesn't look like he has any.
People were wearing.
Look, he doesn't look like he has any feet though. I guess that's my point.
Can you believe that, though? People were wearing those boots.
That's weird. But look at this hair. You know that they were playing off Astro Boy. There has to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I agree.
If they could have cut out maybe 15, 20 minutes, that would have been perfect. Let me read you this hilarious review, just a portion of it from this guy. It says, first of all, these movies are drenched in blood and outrageous gore, and it is done in an absurd extreme, so you should know that in advance. I may have just skipped over a few words. That is, this genre is splatter extreme, but what made Mutant Girl Squad more enjoyable than many others was the movie was focused heavily on the story and the characters and not the blood and gore and mayhem. I don't think I agree with that.
I don't think we have been exposed to enough splatter extreme.
Maybe you might be right.
To this genre to necessarily be able to speak on that.
Yeah, you might be right. For me, the Dead Sushi, which is what I'm referencing, and I also saw Zombie Ass. And I think those fit in the categories. And I was like, what are you talking about? These have great storylines.
Zombie Ass?
Yeah. Look at what this person, I love this, Power Rangers meets Texas Chainsaw
Massacre. I disagree 100%.
I mean, it's a funny, but I've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Really?
But from what I hear, it's not gory at all. Texas
Chainsaw?
Yeah.
Not the original.
From what I hear, it's as boring as the first Halloween.
Yeah, but it's got its moments.
Okay. Well, before we end this, the main focus and what really drew both you and I in to wanting to watch this movie
was the chainsaw butt.
Yes.
Come on.
Where did it go?
One more.
There.
Over.
Thank you. Thank you. This is what really got us.
私のお宝知りてえぞ
Super sharp!
強いじゃに切らるよほら次は与え
And
だ
then
よ
of course
爆
this.
乳メイドの撮影さんは胸から刀さ
So disturbing. That one really like grossed me out.
It looks painful, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the butt one was it was more censored because of the underwear, but that nipple one definitely did not look.
Painful.
Yeah, it looked raw and
Ouch.
maybe a little infected. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what really drew us in, honestly, when we saw the
Always
trailer.
what I kept saying, hey, let's watch the cheerleader butt saw.
Yeah, and I was
Movie.
like, let's wait, let's give it a little time.
Let's let it marinate.
Exactly. That was after watching Dead Sushi, but it's been quite a while, so we thought this would be a good one. I guess for Jake's, not technically, but
Return?
yeah. I mean, we tried the other one, but all the audio was messed up, so this will technically be your return from your hiatus. So I would give this. I'm guessing. I'm not guessing, but I'm thinking more like a 6 out of 10. What do you think?
I'd give it like a 7
Okay.
or an 8. Fun factor just was there, Like I enjoyed watching it with you.
Yeah.
Like it was something that, it didn't feel like, we have to sit through this. Like I actually enjoyed watching it with you. That's something that if I ever got invited, to do something with you because like we're friends, but that'll never happen. That's something that we could do, like I would actually sit down and watch that with you. Like it's goofy, So I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10.
That has the buddy bump. Is that the buddy
It's
bump?
got the buddy bump.
Okay.
Yeah, the buddy bump.
I think
That means something else. in my
yeah,
book.
some places. That doesn't happen here. Nah, I'm gonna stick with the 6, but it was enjoyable, but I still like Dead Sushi a little more. And just anybody who's gonna try this, please just be aware this is absurd, over the top violence.
Yeah, and there is nudity, so
Yeah.
like, don't watch it with your kids.
No. Well, I mean,
Maybe your wife. Can you imagine me watching this with Jess?
with Jess, that would be
Hilarious.
I would love to see a recording of that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But
She'd
I
want
guess
it,
I would recommend this, honestly.
Yeah, me too. It's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Well,
I am
hey.
Judah,
I'm Jake.
and this has been Creepin' and Real. Thanks for checking us out.
Bye.